on the stage.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nyima. I'm very happy to be here, and I got a great opportunity. So, first of all, I would like to thank to Joy and Ellen and all the organizers. And also, I would like to thank to my friend Shen. So he's like, bridge for me since I don't speak good Chinese. So he always helped me to connect with the TED people and everyone. So therefore, I have so many friends through him. So thank you so much. I would like to talk about 2 or 3 things today. Number 1 is about my life, and the second is, of course, about our school, which is in Lhasa. So I am a product of doing factory called Braille Without Borders. And Braille Without Borders encourage us to dream big and start from small. And so, like myself, I am blind. I'm very sad because I'm blind. But I have a twin sister. She's sighted. I'm very happy when I look at my twin sister. She's sighted, but she cannot read and write. I can read and write in 3 languages, and I traveled around the world. So I'm happy to be blind. If I'm not blind, maybe I was a farmer or I'm doing something like in the farm. It can be, right? So I know that all of you don't want to talk about bad things about your parents or families, but today I would like to share my real story with you guys. And I hope, everyone can learn something from here, because time is important, and all of you are like spending your time here with me. And I would like to make something happen in these 15 minutes, that everyone can learn something. So myself, I was born in 1988, and when I was born, like after 3 months, I became blind. And then a few months later, my mom has left me and my twin sister. She had run away with a new guy because our father was died. So when I look at back now, I learned a lot from my mother. Love is crazy. So she left 2 small kids, like when we were 6 or 7 months old. And loves make huge difference, right? And so I grew up with my grandmother, and my twin sister, she grew up with our mother's family, so we had to split up. And so when I was 13 years old, I met my mother, and then I came to Lhasa. And so when I was 15, when we were 15 years old, it was in 2000, I joined at the blind school. It's called Braille Without Borders. And there I studied Tibetan, English, and all the languages. Beginning, honestly, I didn't believe that we can read something with our fingers, And I didn't take it serious. But 1 or 2 weeks later, I learned that it's useful because all people are reading something and writing something. So there I learned like Tibetan reading and writing, English, Chinese, and 3 languages. And after 3 years, I went to England. I studied my English for 1.5 years. I studied together with sighted kids, sighted people. It was in Totnes, small town called Totnes. And so after that, I worked at the blind school as a manager, and now I'm doing also running the school together with Sabia and Paul. So Sabia is from Germany, and she's blind herself, and her boyfriend is from Poland, Paul. So they started the school together with 6 students. And so we learned a lot of things from Sabia, and she always tells us that everything is possible, and I think it's true, everything is possible. So she started the school in 1998 with 6 students, and now we have 35 students. And in the school we teach English, Tibetan, Chinese, mathematics, and orientation, like how to use this cane. And after that, what we do is it's called we call it actually training center for the blind, because we train the kids to be independent. We think like we all are same. So that's why we don't want to say like blind school or something. We call it training center for the blind. And we train the kids. So after that, when they learn these things, they can go to the regular school. And they can study together with regular school. And because we don't see there's a big difference between blind and sighted. Because like, you know, all of you can read and write, but you cannot read in the dark. In this hall, there are 2 people only can read and write in the dark. This is me and my friend Jensen there, right? This is cool. So I think being blind is also not that bad. You know, you can think for both ways. So that's why our school's goal is to share the world together in a society. So, and also in our school, like we have many students who learn massage. Right now they opened massage clinics in Lhasa, so they can feed themselves. They don't have to ask money for their parents. And I know that like a lot of people think, oh, it's very pity we are blind. But to be honest, we don't need the pity from people. It's true, like before, when my grandmom was worried, said, like, when you're older, I was worried for you. If I'm die, what will happen to you? But no, I think I'm independent, and I have a lot of friends, and I can get salary every month, and I have no problem. I don't have a problem. So far, no problem, right? Future nobody knows. And we also have a second project, which is in the Shigatse. Shigatse is the second biggest city in Tibet. And there we have a big, huge farm. So in the farm, we have blind students from 17 to 35 years old. And these people learn how to do the farm works, and how to knit the sweaters, and how to wave carpeters. And also they learn how to feed the animals and all kind of things, farming things. The reason why we do this, these blind people, after this, when they go back to their homes, they can, you know, help for the family. They can be one of the family members. So they are independent, right? So otherwise, if they don't know anything, the family gives the food and say, you eat. You know, they have to eat. It's not like that. They are humans, so they could do something. And for them also, it's the time is worth to do, you know. And the family members can ask them, say, what do you think, and this, that, because the blind person is doing something for the family. So they could do the housework or like feeding the animals. That's why we have the training center there. The training center was started in 2004. And then, so the third project also we have in Kerala, in India, sort of India. So Jensen went there in 2009 and I went there in 2010. So both of us started there. So in India, what they do is Sape and Paul, they get a lot of invitation letters from like all over the world, say, can you set up a similar project what we have in Tibet? And they said this is impossible in their life to set up like 100 projects. So they decided to set up a project in Kerala, in India, sort of India. There we have every year we give training, like, you know, leadership course, how to do the fundraising and like, you know, making bookkeepings and how to do like speeches and all kind of things they teach in India. So after the course, what happens is that the people who have the course, they will go back to their country and they will start similar projects. Right now, 40 projects is running around the world. Most are in Africa and like developed countries. So it's amazing. And I also like want to tell you guys that being blind is not bad. That we always say, but we should give you reason why. You know, I just cannot say you do this and that. People should have reason behind that. So, you know, I think there are many advantages being blind. Like for example, all of you guys can see. So if we travel together in a car, you know, on a bad road, I can sleep and you guys cannot, because you guys see the outside. And so these things can help us to make strong. But other thing is we have to make others be strong. For example, the problem is a lot of people think if I talk about beauty, everybody will laugh at me and say, how does he know he's beautiful or not? He's blind. No, it's not true. I can feel, I have a feeling still, right? My other senses are working. I can date, I can do what I want. No, seriously, because beauty is something that we all have a different view. If we all have the same view, then everybody will fight for one boy and one girl. Not like that, you know? So, yeah, I mean, like, the beauty is like a taste, we can say, you know? And we also get a lot of questions about colors. Say, well, what do you think is white, red, blue, whatever? I think the colors come from the society. You know, it's made by society. You think red is cool or whatever. It's just like from the society, you know. Because I mean, myself, I don't see colors. Every day I wear like different clothes. I change, but I don't ask people. Say, what do you think? I think it matches well. Nobody complains. Say, today you have the wrong color. So I think it's not very bad. And also, you know, like, so since Sabia came to Tibet, I think she changed a lot. Like, before 5 years, when we go out, everybody's watching us like we are like film stars, you know, around, because the blind people are walking on the road. But these days, we don't have many people because they know that these people are blind. And I give you more few examples, like Jensen here, who is audience now. He's also blind, and he became blind when he was 9 years old. And his family, they worried so much. But now he can use computers, and he also went to Malaysia, and he went to Japan. And so I think in his village, he is the only one who can use the computers and who went a lot outside the world. I mean, you know, outside Tibet. And so these things also, you know, and so I think people, we should believe in people, and we shouldn't judge very quickly, you know. So that's what I would say, because if you have a problem with one thing, then everybody treat you differently. Sometimes nicely, sometimes badly, you know. Sometimes nice thing about being blind is, you know, if we eat cake, Jensen and I, we get the biggest. People think we are too hungry. No, I mean, we are blind, but we can, like, you know, eat what you eating, and this need to change. Sometimes, you know, the bad thing when you're blind is that, like, you know, some people, they want to help us, they don't know. For example, this is like, do you need help to cross the road? They think we are deaf or something, and it's not. We can hear, you know, excuse me. And another problem, you know, when I go somewhere, some of the people, they are not comfortable to ask me. They say like, does he need sugar in his coffee? And I say, I think so. You know? So these things I really think we need to change, and we need to learn. And like in blind school, you know, before the visitors, when they came to school, they think, oh, you know, these kids are poor blind people, these are very poor. No, they are not poor. They have a really, like, you know, passionate to study, and they have a good dreams. So that's why we have Braille without borders, you know. Braille without borders means like there's no borders for blind. No, physically no. Which means like there's no limitation. You know, we can dream. Not only blind people, everyone. We can dream. We can have a dream, you know. That's why there says no borders. So there's no limitation for dream. And the Braille without borders name philosophy is like, goes like this, okay? So Sabi and Paul said they asked students to write their dreams. And one of our students, he was 8 years old at that time. His name is Nobu. He said he wants to be a taxi driver. And everybody was like, oh, but they didn't say it's impossible. But later on he said, oh, well, I'm blind, it's impossible, but I could run a taxi company. So that's why the name came, you know, everything is possible. But in Lhasa, I think blind people can drive, because anyway, the taxi drivers are crazy there. I mean, Beijing, right? So yeah, and so right now, Sabi and Paul, they are currently working in India. They are doing very hard work, but in Lhasa, Jensen and I, we do the most of the works together with TDPF. TDPF means Tibet People's Disabled Federation. So we work together with them. and they are our counterpartners. And so, like me, my dream is to run the Braille Without Borders school. This is what I'm doing now, and I really want to help to the people, not only blind, to everyone. They make understand each other, you know. And why I say make understand, because blind people always say we have one problem. I mean, not only blind, I think all the handicapped people. They think, oh no, I'm not worth to do this because I'm blind, or I shouldn't go to cinema because I cannot see. No, you should go because you can hear still, right? And you can meet with sighted people. And I think this needs to change. What I'm trying to say here is that blind people, handicapped people, they shouldn't stay behind the wall. They should come to the world. They should come to the society, share their feelings, and you know, and then like sighted people or non-sighted people, we all can learn each other. This is what I want to say. So right now, like you know, there's like only massage is famous, you know. Massage is famous, blind massage is famous, but I think there are many other jobs blind people can do. So I hope in future in China we have so many companies and so many, you know, people that wants to help for people. But I think the best way how to help people is give us a good job that fit on us, you know, not on pity, you know, that I can do something and you get something, and this is equal, right? And we really want to make equal. So that's why we have the farm. So our plan is we have a bakery there, so we will make some bread and like cakes. So in the future we can sell this, and the blind people, they can get some jobs, also training in the farm, you know, they can get training, not only massage. So this is our future plan. And I wish that one day, you know, as you all know, Tibet is the top of the world. And I wish that all blind people can stand up on top of the society. This is our wish. And if anyone has questions, we can meet up later somewhere. I think we have a plan, right? So questions are very welcome later. And I thank you all. Thank you so much.